welcome to the show. Well, what a week of news it's been.
Half of England now face tighter restrictions, including 9 million people in the capital.
People in London, York, Essex and other areas are banned from mixing indoors.
Just as we simplified our national rules with the rule of 6, we will now simplify and standardise our local rules.
Excellent. And how are these new, simple rules going down?
The country is so confused.
I think it's been confusing from day one, really.
I'm sick of it. It's confusion.
You don't understand?
No idea.
Nobody knows?
There are too many different orders coming in, one after another, and we never know where we stand from one day to the next.
He's fucked it.
You can see why people are confused. There's so many rules and loopholes. For example, pubs in Tier 3, they have to shut down, but pubs can stay open and sell booze if they serve a Cornish pasty and a side salad. It's like Boris is making it up as he goes along. You can go to the pub if you've got a pasty. You can visit your nan if she's eating Monster Munch, and gyms are fine as long as you've got a Dairy Lee Dunker. It's ridiculous. No wonder people are angry. One pub on Merseyside changed their name from the James Atherton to the Three Bellends. It gets madder. Boris Johnson confirms indoor sex is banned in certain lockdown tiers. The economy's in tatters, and he's promoting dogging. Protect the NHS, fucking a hedge. But make sure you take a pasty. This is madness. You can't have sex outside in this country. Britain is freezing. You get your cock out, it look like you got 3 bollocks. And where's the romance? Who wants to give someone a hand job whilst holding an umbrella? Oh, Britannia. Also, let's not muck around. There's so much grey area. What does indoor sex mean? Can you cuddle in a caravan? Get tugged in a tent? Can you flirt in a yurt? Bust a nut in a hut? Give head in a shed? Can you deep throat in a motorboat? Can you wham bam thank you man if you own a wigwam? It's ridiculous. And this is my favourite detail of the story. Under these guidelines, if you're having sex in this country, you must adhere to the rule of 6. If 6 of you want to bang in the street, that's fine. But 7, put the dick down and step away from the wigwam. There's more rules, right? As if students haven't suffered enough. Have you heard what's happening in York Uni? Students with corona are told to stay in rooms a minute longer if there's a fire in the halls. Like, who's gonna do that? Oh, there's a fire. 1, 2. I better not endanger other people's lives. 3. I wouldn't want to give them something that they'll statistically recover from. 4. It feels like the reason we've got all these mad rules is because Boris didn't deliver what he promised.
We will have a test, track and trace operation that will be world-beating.
World-beating? It's a bag of shit. Millions of us have downloaded the app and look how many alerts it's sent.
The coronavirus contact tracing app for England and Wales has only sent 1 alert about an outbreak of coronavirus since it was launched 2 weeks ago.
It's lazier than my eye. You laughed a bit too much at that, to be honest. That app is... Fuck off. That app is as good at saving people as this lady. Prosecco or baby, Prosecco. the app's bad. Did you hear what happened in Birmingham? Oh, this is disgusting.
Birmingham City Council says that coronavirus swab kits that had already been used were mistakenly given to households in Selly Oak as part of its testing service.
Oh! Don't worry, it's fine. Then why is it fucking brown? How did that happen? Surely the clues were there. I think these swabs have been used. Why? I mean, they're green. And they fucking stink. It's a joke, man. And what makes it worse, it turns out the test and trace consultants are paid the equivalent of £1.5 million as a salary. Millions of quid for doing nothing. Who do they think they are? The royal family.
Philip, what are you doing?
I'm sending this swab to Birmingham.
Well, stop it, you dirty bastard. Come on. Let's hit the wigwam.
It's exhausting, isn't it, sometimes, you know? An app that doesn't work, rising infections. I wish I could just point out the joy in the news, like this moment, when it looked like this journalist was trying to ask a question whilst his wife was doing a striptease.
Huge increases of cases in Liverpool Hospital. How confident are you that transmission is happening in the community rather than in healthcare settings such as hospitals and care homes? And for Professor Evans, human contact, of course, doesn't just take place in hospitality. We've seen restrictions in hospitality in Blackburn, Oldham, Bolton. It just hasn't worked. How about the measures of transmission?
How much was she wearing? But you can't talk about stuff like that because the madness keeps on coming. I mean, take Liverpool. Despite the fact it's Tier 3, this is still allowed.
Back in Liverpool, here's another strange juxtaposition in these dark, troubled times. The city is being used to film the new Batman movie.
How is that fine? Was Batman holding one of these? I bet you money Scousers took the piss. Hey, Batman, your fucking mask's on the wrong way round, mate. Did you see the new bat suit? Oh, my God, look at this photo. Is it me, or has the Dark Knight been comfort eating? What's the plot? Has Batman eaten Robin? To be honest, he's not the superhero that I'm interested in. Have a look at this brilliant story about an 83-year-old lady from Stoke.
When it comes to fighting crime, here's one special young lady who could easily give Batman or Superman a run for their money. 83-year-old June Turner became headline news last year with this video of her battling a robber who targeted her shop in Stoke-on-Trent. She wasn't having any of it. Look at her go.
She beats the shit out of him. And the best thing, most people get a bit bashful if they've done something wonderful like this. Not June.
Do you think of yourself as a hero?
Yes. I'm a bloody legend. The Robocop from the corner shop, the winner with the Zimmer. Me and Captain Tom are going to form a double act.
She's great. And she wasn't afraid to go into detail.
Show us your stick, June. And then you whacked him with that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
I think one of them, you watched the video, and one of them, I think you do kind of hit the stick up his bum.
Right up his backside.
Right up his backside. Oh, I don't mind telling you fine people, I was up to his guts in crutch. Turned him into a kebab. His stick was coming out of his mouth like a rotisserie chicken. By the time I was done, he looked like a good luck troll.
She's a hero. Apparently, she was so delighted, she went for a beer down her local. In fact, she's such a legend, they should name a pub after her. So, It's 13 days to go until the US election, and Trump has been on the campaign trail. Did you see him revealing details of his hospital stay? I think he took part in an orgy.
I had so many, I had 12 doctors around the bed, and everyone was grabbing a different part of my body.
It was like getting pleasured by an octopus.
I don't know if it's the drugs he's on, but his campaign strategy's really changed.
I can now jump into the audience and give you all a big kiss, the women and the men. I'll even kiss the men. I'll kiss those big, powerful men down there. I won't love it, but I'll kiss them.
I'll kiss those men. I don't want to, but if I've got to, I'll kiss every goddamn bit of them. Listen, Donald, if you want to kiss the men, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't fight who you are. I mean, you already dance like you're beating off a couple of invisible blokes. Now, when he wasn't giving out hand jobs to ghosts, he was discussing... which is my new album. He was discussing what he'll do if he loses the election to Joe Biden.
Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
He's going to leave America. Where's he going to go? Nobody wants him. And how is he going to go to other countries when he can't even pronounce them?
Production to Thailand.
Tanzania.
Nambia.
By Venezuela's. Puerto Rico. China.
I want a one-way ticket to Germany. Join me after the break when I'll be chatting to the brilliant comedian Rosie Jones. Welcome back to the show. Now it's time for life lessons. Now, there's been a lot of talk of creatives having to retrain. So I thought I'd ask the guys what job they thought they'd be brilliant at.
A job that I secretly suspect that I would really be actually quite excellent at, but would never do, is a police officer. Fed. Because I think deep down, somewhere, I'm a massive snitch. Sorry, Liz.
Removal van man. I'll walk into someone's house and I'll genuinely look in their living room and be like, that would get through the door, that would get through the door. Need to take that in half. 90-degree angle, 50-degree angle, that wouldn't get through the door. How did they get that in this house?
Prime Minister, obviously. Prime Minister London, I'd sort it right out. COVID, schmovid. Brexit, you having a laugh. Nah, staying in. Everybody great. Free margaritas on Thursday, wicked.
This is hard because most stand-up comedians are comedians because they're not cut out for any other job. But a job I suspect I'd actually be great at is a teacher. I have this like romantic idea that I would be like Robin Williams in Dead Poets Society, just like, everyone get on your desks, rip up your textbooks, live, damn it. But I think I'd probably just be annoyed and every day would be a movie day. It's like, we're gonna watch another documentary because I made the wrong career choice.
Doing pantomime for small children. I will never do it, only because I know once I get into that game that that's me for life. Because of my big personality, kids! And it's a burden I wear every day.
Detective. I think I'd be a really good detective. I really am good at wearing long coats and saying, get him out of here.
A job I'd secretly be good at is chef, but I can't cook.
A job I secretly suspect I'll be good at is a heart surgeon, because I think if it went wrong, I'd be okay with it. I wouldn't worry. I'd go, you know what, I'm not trained.
My guest this week is one of the most exciting new comedians in the country. Rosie Jones is one of the fastest rising stars on the UK comedy scene.
I'm disabled, I'm gay, and I'm a prick. The BBC loves me.
In the last few years, she's written for the smash hit Netflix show Sex Education, showed off her dramatic chops acting in Silent Witness, and now she brings us a brand new travel series, Mission Accessible. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rosie Jones! How are you?
I'm good. I'm sad to wake up.
We can't hug, mate. And it looks so rude of me to go, we simply cannot hug.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen you and you've not been deliriously excited. You have like such an energy about you. Like every time I see you, you're like, hey! we were literally backstage and I was like, hey, thanks for coming. And you were like, people, there's people here.
Yeah. But basically, I wake up every day, I make people laugh, and I get paid for it. Of course I'm happy.
Yeah, right.
Honestly, I feel like I say it too much, but I am living my dream.
Yeah.
And I never put it on. I'm genuinely so happy, so yay!
Now, you've got a new documentary out on Channel 4 Online.
Yeah.
That is all about disability and access, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's a travel show where I go around the country seeing how accessible places are. And I'm pretty much like a tour guide for disabled people. So it's called Mission Accessible, but I'm very unhappy about that.
Why?
Because I wanted to call it Crip Advisor.
That's an absolute doozy. Oh, that's a good title, man. You must have been so excited and then went, absolutely no, absolutely not.
No.
What have you learnt then? What's been the eye-opening discoveries?
So I think when you say the words disabled, holiday, accessible, it sounds a bit dry. It sounds like we're talking to Margaret, who's 80, in a wheelchair, and she wants to go on holiday to Bangor.
Yeah.
It's like, well done for you, Margaret, but I don't care.
Yes. Which is something that only you can.
But you're all thinking it.
Whereas presumably your thing is about a young lady that is trying to get banged on a holiday.
Yes! Always! And I always do.
And what I love, so you're travelling with other comics, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you're kind of answering questions from disabled people about sort of like the places they want to go.
Yeah. So what I wanted to do was tailor-make a holiday for a person's needs.
Yeah.
and for their disability.
You went on a glider,
Yes.
which we've actually got a clip of you. We can have a look at it here. This is very cool.
It just wasn't in my plan this morning when I woke up to tumble to my death from a glider. We're about to move. Okay.
Stop uniform all out.
Okay, we're in the air. Wow. At the sea. Oh my god.
Before today, if you show me a glider and gone, can a disabled person do that? Absolutely not. It was truly incredible.
Wow. Was it incredible? It looks... I've often thought with gliders, they look terrifying because it's like you've got another plane holding you and then it just leaves and then you're like, what?
Yeah.
And is it exhilarating or...?
Right, OK, for the show, I want to say this is amazing.
Right.
Because we did it for a guy with cerebral palsy who wanted to do something incredible, and it was, but not for me. Like, it's someone said, do you want to fly a glider? Or do you want to stay on Earth and drink 8 pints in the pub?
Yep. But that just wouldn't be good telly, would it? Just you getting bollocks like that. Only had 7.
So, it was amazing, and what you didn't see there was, it was dual control, so the pilot was in the back.
I like, Star Wars.
But yet sometimes she would say, it's over to you now, Rosie.
Wow, so you...
And I drove it, but I got cerebral palsy, so when I drove it, the glider went like that. And it was a windy day, so it went like that. And because of COVID, we had to wear face masks. I was sick in my own face mask.
Oh, my God. And what I love most about that is when you got down to the ground, they cleaned your face and said, say it was brilliant. And you're like, I'm literally covered in vomit. You say it was brilliant.
I am a professional.
Absolutely. That's exquisite. It's so fascinating as well, because you also wrote on Sex Education, which is a big show on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen it, it's great. And you wrote a whole episode about disabled people having sex.
Yeah. Sex education is brilliant because the on-screen talent is so diverse, and being an awkward disabled teenager who secretly was a raging lesbian, I couldn't process all those ideas, especially because when I turned on the telly, there was nobody like me. So for years, I honestly thought, I'm not gay. I'm disabled.
Right.
Like, I could only fit one different thing in my life.
Yeah.
And I hope that now we're getting to a stage where you do turn on telly and you do see people of colour who are also gay or disabled people who are also trans.
Yeah, absolutely. Amen to that. And you've also, what's really exciting as well, like, is projects coming out of your ass. You've got a sitcom out as well. Isn't it the idea that it's if you're like, a bit like sliding doors, that there's able-bodied Rosie and there's disabled Rosie and the different lives that they lead?
Yeah, so I got cerebral palsy, which happened because when I was born, I didn't breathe for 15 minutes, which is a long time not to breathe.
Yeah.
Don't try it. But really, if you time it, it's such a short time for your whole life to change.
Yeah.
Because if those 15 minutes had gone differently, I could be able-bodied. And I think the able-bodied version of me would be completely different.
How do you imagine her? Is that something that you've ever thought about?
Yeah, and in the sitcom we use that idea, but in my real life, I've thought about her a lot, especially in my teenage life, where, sometimes I thought it'd be so much easier. I wouldn't be judged. I could do this, I could do that. But where I am right now, the only time I think about able-bodied Rosie is when I go, I'm so glad I'm not her.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing all the exciting things I'm doing, and I don't think I'd be as happy. I'm not religious, but I really honestly think everything happens for a reason, and I'm meant to be disabled, and I'm proud of it.
Wow, I can't think of a finer way of ending the interview than that. Ladies and gentlemen, the fantastic Rosie Jones! Join me after the break when we'll be chatting about your neighbours. Time for the People's Poll. According to a recent survey, it turns out lockdown has turned us all into nosy neighbours. 41% admit to keeping a closer eye on their neighbours' movements since the pandemic struck. So this week, I thought I'd ask you about the most bizarre neighbours and what they get up to. Now, as always, we had loads of people that got in touch, and some of you are here with me now. Hello, everybody. So, let's talk neighbours. Where should we go first? Caroline.
Oh,
have you got...
Why did I have to be first?
Have you got a neighbour you'll never forget?
I have, yeah. So when we were younger, we used to share like a rear boundary with an older gentleman.
Okay.
And for some reason, he used to like throw random items of groceries across the fence at us.
Right.
But he used to like to announce what he was throwing before he actually threw it. So some of the lighter items weren't too bad, like tea bags or sponges that you used to throw at us.
Yeah.
But when you used to shout the word potatoes, you knew that was your cue to like kind of take cover because you were about to get hit in the head.
Yeah. Why was he throwing groceries at you?
I think he just assumed that we needed them. It was just the way he used to do it.
What did you do with the food? Did you ever use the tea bag? Ever use the potatoes?
We did make good use of the things that we had. But the trifle, not so much. The trifle was kind of excluded on contact, so...
Do you reckon he was trying to feed you up? Or was it an attack?
I hope not. That's just occurred to me now.
How is it only just occurred to you? Like, that's a fucking unusual story, like, as a kid, just be like, potato! Like that, and you're being attacked. You'd be like, oh, I wonder what it means. Did you not go into school and just kind of go, has anyone else got a neighbour that lobs groceries at them?
We assumed he had some kind of magical item that whenever he shouted at it in his hand, it would change form as it came over the fence.
Fucking great. I love that. It's a great story. Who should we go to next? Jade, tell me about your neighbour. Did he ever throw vegetables at you, Jade?
No.
Were you ever teabagged by him?
No. We had a lovely elderly neighbour in her 80s. Yeah. And one day she knocked the door with a bag of books and asked if I wanted them because she was getting rid of them.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, all right then. And I'm stood there with that bag for life looking at these books and she's talking to me about the bins or something.
Yes.
And as I'm looking at them, there's all naked people on the books. And they're all porn books. Like...
Excuse me, Jade,
never
Jade,
forgotten,
Jade,
things like that.
Jade,
and then
Jade,
finishes what I
Jade,
was saying.
Jade,
and looks
Jade,
at me and says,
Jade,
I wiped them all over.
Jade,
and
Jade, please. Jade, for the love of Christ, please. Hang on. What's happened? Jade.
Yeah.
The thing that got me was porn books. Books. Were these like novels? Like, not porn mags, porn books.
Books.
Yeah.
Yep. About 17, 18 of them.
Yep.
In a bag for life.
Yep.
Yeah. The virgin, once touched, never forgotten. But then she said, as she's walking away, she said, I've wiped them all over.
Wow. Jade, please tell me you went into your garden and you just went like that. You saw the kids next door and went, porn book! Lady Charlie's lover! Where are those books now, Jade?
I've still got them.
And
Glenn, I couldn't get rid of them that way.
Sure. Oh, sure. Yeah. You couldn't get rid of them. I mean, in these difficult times, it would be improper of you to try and sell books. I may as well keep all of these books for myself. Have you read any of them, Jade?
Well, I had to flick through them, but no.
There's nothing wrong with that, innit?
Yeah, that's no.
Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Oh, God.
Why do you think she gave you the books?
I really don't know. I don't really want to know.
God, my neighbours are so boring compared to you guys. It's amazing. Has anyone ever had, like, a weird request from a neighbour? That always happens all the time. Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he was straight in there. Gary, nodding straight away. Go on then, Gary, tell me about that.
A few years ago, I mentioned to one of my neighbours that I was going to a Christmas Eve fancy dress party.
Uh-huh.
And I wouldn't be back until the early hours of the next morning. And I was going to go dressed as Father Christmas.
Yep.
As you do for Christmas Eve.
Of course.
The neighbour said, what you could do for me then is, when you get home, if you look in our lounge window and the light's on, it means the kids have got up early and have gone downstairs.
Yes.
As you're dressed as Father Christmas, could you tap on the window and wave at the kids So about 4 a.m. the next morning, saw their light was on, so went over there, tapped on the window. Both the kids looked up and started screaming really loudly. What I'd forgotten was that at the party, I'd been standing next to an overly energetic dancer who had smacked me on the nose and had a really bad nosebleed. Oh, God. The beard and the suit, etc. And also an hour after that at the party, I'd been sick, matted in with the blood, etc. So when I tapped on the window, I looked more like Freddy Krueger than Father. When I talked to the neighbours a couple of days later, it also turned out I'd knocked on the wrong window.
Wowzers, that's a fucking great story. What about Joanna?
Hi, yeah, well, a couple of years ago, my husband and I'd be out shopping. We came home and we could hear this noise in the background, and it was a little noise going, help, help. So we ran out the back.
Yes.
And here's my 87-year-old neighbour stuck on top of my roof of my shed. What she'd done is she'd climbed up a ladder on top of her garage, climbed along the wall, went on top of my shed to steal my pears off my tree.
Holy shit! Nobody was expecting that. So she's like 87. She's like, right, I'm going to have those fucking pears like that. So she escaped. So it's a weird situation for you because you're like, oh my God, old lady in trouble, but thief. What did you do?
Well, my husband had to get a ladder and rescue her, and I was like, if he'd been away, I would have had to phone the fire brigade.
Yeah, fucking hell, that's so funny. 87 though, that's all right.
87, yeah, she's no longer with us now, but yeah, she was very, very sprightly, she was.
What you should do, you should visit her grave every year, just pop a pear down like that. Well, Katie really enjoyed that moment, you know what I mean? Like that, you pop it pear, but there'd probably be like a passing man who'd kind of go, right, I'm going to throw that at some children. Pear! Amazing story. Right, Katie, we've heard your laugh several times. I'm very excited to talk to you. And let's not muck around. Your laptop has been going all over the shop. It's been fantastic.
Well, it's my phone. It's balanced on top of a Haribo and then on top of a jar at the same time. Yeah.
I love it. I've got to respect that. Do you know what I mean? And none of that. It's like something out of a Wallace and Gromit film. They're like, right, just balance it there. Tell me about your neighbours.
Yeah, it was more like really us.
Okay.
I had a cat called TC, and she was called TC not because of top cat, but because she was a trouble causer. And she used to be able to climb up people's houses' walls.
Yeah, like an 87-year-old lady, yeah.
Yeah, 87-year-old lady, yeah. But she used to climb through the windows and steal things and bring them back home as gifts. Really? And we had the neighbour once catch her running out of the window with a vibrator. As an 8-year-old, I answered the door to the neighbour, and the neighbour was like, "Your cat snipped my vibrator. Can I have it?"
Wow. So there were two very mischievous pussies.
And I'm like, "It's a vibrator."
Yeah. But surely you'd let that go, wouldn't you? Like, do you know what I mean? If an animal, like I haven't got a sex toy, but if I had a fleshlight, for example, and I haven't got one. What men don't, like women are fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I got a sexy vibrator. But like, for example, if I had a fleshlight and a cat nicked it, how unlucky would you be? Like that, you come home, you had a tough day, you think, oh, I'll have a lovely go with my fleshy, and it turned out a cat had nicked it, I'd let that fucking go. I wouldn't be like, knock, excuse me. Your cat has some of my property, thank you very much. Do you know what I mean? And the cat's like, fuck off, it's mine. I would just let it go, buy a new. It's got fucking claw marks in it now. God, I love that, though. What a brilliant story. I think we've learnt so much. Thank you very much. I should say goodbye to all of you. There you go. Thank you very much. Wow. Funny tonight is good deeds and an amazing story about a dad and a child's bike.
Hi, I'm Wesley and I cycled over 200 miles for local hospitals and cancer charities on my daughter's bike. I've always been up for crazy challenges.
One, bungee!
I've done skydives, bungee jumps, crazy rides. I've done lots. My granddad passed away last year. It's the last of my grandparents, so I wanted to do something in tribute to them, to raise some funds for the people that help care for them. I wanted to cycle Russia to Manchester, but then COVID hit. So I came up with a new plan to cycle from Glasgow to Manchester, but I thought that was a bit boring. So I thought I'd do that on my daughter's bike. My daughter's bike is a small pink bike, probably one of the smallest you can get. It's very, very different to my normal road bike it is. The very first day went with no problems at all with the bike. I woke up the second morning, it was a glorious day.
Quiet roads, beautiful scenery. What more can you ask for?
I think I did the first 20 mile and my wheel started to make a noise. My wheel is totally used. I had to carry my bike for 2 miles to the nearest village where a man replaced my wheel for nothing. Getting the help of the general public was amazing and it gave me the power to carry on. This bike wasn't made for hills.
Hopefully when I get to the top it'll be a good downhill. Bloody massive hill.
It was good fun. It was real good fun. Sometimes I thought I could do it, sometimes I thought I couldn't.
I'm aching from head to toe now. Today's took its toll.
I just stayed positive, and as each day went, I thought I'm getting closer to home. One of my friends met me in Manchester City Centre. To have someone with me, it felt brilliant.
If I cry, don't laugh. Hey, no, mate. I do a bit of cycling, but I don't think I could do that on the small little kid's bike. You cycle from Glasgow. Left on Wednesday.
So after 8 busted wheels, 229 miles, I made it home after 6 grueling days. Once I arrived home, it just felt brilliant, you know.
You did it, guys, you did it.
Seeing my family, my kids, I felt amazing. I felt amazing.
I think I'm just going to sit here a minute.
I think my dad's a bit nuts, and everyone was like coming up to me and was like, "Your dad's nuts for doing that." I'm very proud of him, and I'm surprised he actually cycled from Glasgow back to here. I love him so much, and I can't believe that I done that for charity.
I have a GoFundMe page which is still up and running, so if anyone can help, feel free to donate if you can. So I've come up with an idea to turn the bike into a pedalo and cycle across the channel. So if anyone can actually help me with that, anyone out there who can help me, it'd be great to hear from you.
Lovely stuff. Thanks so much for watching the show. Good night, my friends. Good night.